Y'all come on in, fam. Come on in. Welcome to Volume 1, our very first episode. Very first episode. I told you I was going to do it, right? I told you I was going to do it. Welcome. Come on in. Tai Chi Minds. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tai Chi Minds. Come on in, family. I wanted to do something a little differently, and I mentioned it to some soul group. I didn't tell them when I was going to begin. I just launched it off today. Tai Chi Minds. Let's give a few more people a chance to come in. So, what is Tai Chi Minds? What is it all about? Tai Chi Minds, episode 1 is a type of, it's a discussion. And as you can see, I'm sitting here, I'm hanging out on the floor. Sitting on the floor, doing some stretches. And, basically winding down for the night. And absolutely, I'm live now. I sure am. So I told you also, group, I said I was going to start doing something else, and I didn't know when, I didn't know how consistent this will be. But I want to do this as a wind down time, like ending the evening. A little discussion of some of the very interesting readings that we've been having during our Tai Chi movement. So now this is Tai Chi Minds. Less body, more mind. Not the meditative mind that we have in our meditation session, but more of a philosophy type discussion. So what do we have here? We have our Lao Tzu, the unknown teachings of Lao Tzu, a lost translation preserved by Mr. Brian Walker. I'm sitting here on the floor doing my splits, stretching my legs, reading my book, sipping some tea. Come on in. Volume 1. I see some soul group here. Yeah, I'm just hanging out, taking it easy. Just taking it easy. We're going to do a little discussion. Did anybody want to get in? Give some feedback. You know, there's no right or wrong answer. But it's always interesting to share feedback and see what we come up with. Should be fun. I'm going to start off. I'm going to read the very first line here. This is, as I said, Lao Tzu's Unknown Teachings, Mr. Brian Walker's translation, page 98. Quite a few people from the soul group have actually purchased this already, so it's been a fun reading, and we're all the way back on page 98. Yeah. So how many days of practice is that? We read it almost every day, and we miss some days because we did other things as well, right? So we've been training for a few months now, family, whether you all realize it or not. And anybody that's new, welcome in. Come on in. Absolutely. Everybody is welcome. We're just hanging out, winding down. Tai Chi Minds, Volume 1. This should be fun. I'll go ahead and read the first line. It says, humanity grows more and more intelligent. May sound familiar because we read it today. I'm starting on the same one from today's session. I thought it was very interesting. Humanity grows more and more intelligent. right? Getting real smart. Sifu would always make a joke about one of my Tai Chi sisters. Like if we wanted to ask Sifu like some Chinese word or something like that. Now bear with me because I'm going to give a lot of input as we read this stuff. I'm share personal stories. I'm just hanging out, family. This is a hangout type of thing. But Sifu would say, talking about intelligence, he said, we're getting more and more intelligent. But Sifu would, oftentimes he would say, if you're interested in learning a lot of things, you should go and talk to your big sister, meaning my older senior Kung Fu sister, meaning she was more senior in the art than I was, my Tai Chi sister. He's basically kind of like throwing a joke at her, saying that she knows a lot of intellectual things. But if you want to know Tai Chi, come to him. You get what I'm saying? So, in other words, the intellectual understanding is good, but as I break it down, intellectual understanding is simply that. It's understanding. Remember how I broke it down? Like gathering knowledge, a whole lot of intellectual knowledge. That's understanding. Once you read it, you comprehend it, you get understanding. Now, once you take that knowledge, I won't even call it knowledge. Once you take that information, you digest that information by having real life experience, and it becomes yours because you own it, you experienced it, not because you read about it. Now you begin to move from having an understanding to having what I like to call having an inner standing, meaning it's inside of you. Brother Gary, welcome to the chat, brother. We just hanging out. I'm sitting here stretching and we're reading over some of this information. You get what I'm saying? So how you transition from having an understanding to having an inner standing. Inner standing means that you have experienced it. It belongs to you. You know it. It's no longer about believing anymore. You get what I'm saying? So just gathering knowledge, you believe it. You may believe it, but you haven't lived it yet. And if you break down the word believe, to truly believe, it says be live. To be live. So you have to live it in order to own it. So we go from understanding to inner standing. Inner standing. It goes inside. Inner your being. Understanding, inner standing. And then above those two, we have overstanding. Now, once you gain, or once we gain, or anybody gain, overstanding, oh, now you move to a whole nother domain now. Because remember, before you had inner standing, meaning you've gained some experience, okay, you did a few things, but now it's been 15, 20 years now. Now you have what we call overstanding. You're basically now, you're a beacon of light. You're that light. You're that, what is that called? A lighthouse? You're that lighthouse out in the middle of those turbulent waters. And those boats are coming in using your beacon signal because they know your beacon signal has something that's useful to them. In other words, you become a supplier of information. People come to you to get the information because they know that you know the information. Not know it here. They know that you have embodied the information. You have become a provider of no longer information, but the information has now become wisdom. It has grown, it has matured. You have poured water on it. You have planted the seed and watched it grow and develop. That's just the first line, family. That's just the first line. Y'all know how it gets. But that's talking about how humanity has grown intellectually. And then he says, yet there's clearly more trouble and less happiness on a daily basis. Now, why is that, family? Why is that? We become so intelligent, but still yet, as intelligent as we are, we're less happy on a daily basis. Why? Come on, talk to me, family. Why is that? Why are we so intelligent but we're so less happy? Please tell me. Please help me out, family. Why? We're very intelligent beings. We're so intelligent, family. We're the only beings on the earth that pay. We pay to live, but we're so intelligent, aren't we? All the other animal forms on the earth, they live for free. They live for free, but we're the intelligent ones. Come on, family. Why are we so unhappy? Sipping on my hot teas. Brother Gary, I hear you, my brother. That gets 2 bells, no doubt. As Brother Gary says, he says because we are looking out and not in. That is a huge, huge contributing factor, no doubt. Affairs of the world, emotional immaturity, relationship with horizontal connections, which are dim compared to the central column of connection we have with Source. Whoo! Please make sure you read the responses. That was deep. Make sure you read the responses. That was real deep. I like that. Compared to the central column of connection that we have with the Source. Yeah, we're not connected to Source. Money and less money makes unhappy. Zeta. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with having money. Get what I'm saying? But when we have a love for money, that's when the problem sets in. When we love money more than we love ourselves. When we love money more than we love ourselves, family. Ourselves, we are reflections. We are the cells, you and I. We are the cells that occupy this earth, Mother Earth. We are the life form. We are the source. But when we start having a love for money and we forget that we're the true currency, because we are the true currency on this earth. Don't let nobody fool you. That paper money has no value. Don't get me started. Okay. We burden ourselves with stress because we focus on. Renee says we burden ourselves with stress because we focus on all that information. Information. I'm not going to start breaking it down. That word. I promise you, I'm not going to break that word down. I'm not. But I have, and I will. Not right now. Information. Play with it. Look up TION and see what it means. Got to start breaking stuff down, family. He says, how can this be so? How? It is because intelligence is not the same as wisdom. Remember, I just said that. Intelligence is not the same as wisdom. I'm on the floor hanging out. Anybody on the floor hanging out? Good time to just pull up a towel, get on the floor instead of sitting at the table if you have a laptop or something. I've made this a habit. That way you're stretching and we're just shooting the breeze at the same time and having fun, family. Good discussion too, by the way. Thank you. He says, it is because intelligence is not the same as wisdom. Nobody teaches us that. Nobody teaches us that. I guess not too many wise people cross our lives. Not mine, anyway. Nobody ever told me that. They had me chasing intelligence. Not that there's anything wrong with being highly intelligent. Don't get me wrong, family. But we get disconnected from the center, from the source, from the earth, from nature. He says, when a society, here we go. He says, when a society misuses partial, I stress the word partial intelligence and ignores, make sure you're listening, family, and ignores holistic wisdom. It's people forget the benefit of a plain natural life. Did I just not say be back in tune with nature? Nothing wrong with technology. Well, there are some things wrong with it, but there's some things that's pretty good about it as well. Now, where the real problem sets in is the disconnect from nature. That's the huge problem. The disconnect and the disrespect for nature. That's the problem. That's the problem. We have become parasites on the earth. Humans. We have become viruses on the earth. Contaminated blood cells. Walking around, trying to destroy the earth, because we won't destroy the earth. We may think we will. The earth will transform, but we will destroy ourselves first. Let's move on. It says, seduced by their desires. There's nothing wrong with having desires, but don't be seduced by desires, emotions, and egos. People don't want to face their egos. We all have egos, but we don't become our ego, if you know what I mean. An ego can just be personal identity, but it doesn't have to be you walking around your head so big that you can't even keep your head on your shoulders. That's a whole nother ball game. You get what I'm saying? He says they become slaves to bodily demands. They become slaves to bodily demands. Now, how does that bring home, family? Let's talk about it. Let's go deep. How, listen to me. How do they, the they he's talking about is us as well, because none of us are perfect, become slaves to bodily demands? I told you how I became a slave. I was on crack. I became a slave to a crack addiction. I told you how I was a slave. I was womanized and chasing down women, couldn't have enough. Remember I talked about that onion where we had to peel off all those layers, all that false reality? That wasn't me. I don't want to be a womanizer. I love my wife. I'm not a drug addict. I don't want to be on drugs. That's not me. I had to pull that layer off. You get what I'm saying? How do we become slaves of our desires? There's multiple ways. But we have to first of all be real with ourselves. That's part of peeling off the onion. See, at first, I didn't want to identify with being a drug addict. I turned my head. No, I ain't addicted to no drugs. This is me talking to my ego. I'm lying to myself. Nope. Man, you got a real problem, bro. You got a real problem. That's when I looked in the mirror and started getting my shit together. You get what I'm saying? Whole life falling apart. What you gonna do, player? That's when I start peeling off the layers. Emotions and egos, they become slaves to bodily demands, to luxuries. I had that one too. To power. I thought I had power. And unbalanced religions. I've been part of that as well. And psychological excuses. Oh, I can identify with all of that. All of it. Every bit. Every bit. Talking about power. Now, Sifu, he broke power down a totally different way from how most people see power. They have false power, which is very weak. See, Sifu told us that power is, listen to me now, each letter is 5 letters, right? P-O-W-E-R, 5 letters. The P stands for proper. We're breaking it down. We're breaking it down power. We're breaking it down. True power, not fake power, real power. The P stands for proper. Proper. P-R-O-P-E-R. Meaning correct. The O is operation. Like, how does it perform? How does it work? Proper operation with W-I-T-H, mean including, proper operation with eternal. Eternal. You familiar with the word eternal? E-T-E-R-N-A-L. Eternal. Talk to me now. Are you familiar with the word eternal? Do you know what it means? Proper operation with eternal rule. R-U-L-E. R-U-L-E. It doesn't get no realer than that. Proper operation with eternal rule. What does eternal mean? Type it in the chat, family. Help me out now. Let's make sure everybody's on the same page. Eternal. E-T-E-R-N-A-L. Do a Google search. Look it up. Let's grow together, family. Yeah, proper operation with eternal rule. What does eternal mean? I see you, family. Come on in. We're just having a little discussion here, Tai Chi Minds, and it's been pretty interesting, quite interesting. Make sure you're reading on the live stream there. People typing in invaluable responses. Yeah, we've been reviewing Lao Tzu's unknown teachings of Lao Tzu, and it's by Brian Walker. Wonderful, 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 fun read. We just having fun. Come on in, family. Denise is talking about behaviors become habits because obsessions become addictions, becomes hell. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, going real deep. Becomes hell. The real hell. I've been there. I've done that. I've been there. I ain't going back. I am not going back there, family. No, I'm not. But I know what it took me to get out of there. I had to look myself in the mirror and I had to be real with myself. That wasn't me. I'm not a crackhead. I'm not a crackhead. I'm not a womanizer. I love my wife. One woman is enough. Come on in, family. Come on in. You heard the bell. Come on in. We're just reading over some of Lao Tzu stuff here. It's not my stuff, but I'm just giving my little 2 cents, my experience. We're having a good time. Let's go. Come on in. I almost lost my place here, family. Seduced by desires, emotions, and egos, they become slaves to the bodily demands. What about food? Nobody mentioned that. Nobody mentioned food. Nobody mentioned food, which is another drug. Let's be real, family. Nobody mentioned food at all. Luxuries to power and unbalanced religions. When I was growing up, my mom drugged me through 4 or 5 different churches, man, and they all ended up disastrous. Cults, mind games. I'm not saying all of them are that way, but just like everything else, there's very few good within inside of the whole mass. Food is the most powerful drug. Food is the most powerful drug, and we should talk about that. You know why? Because we are all about health and wellness, right? When we eat garbage, family, and it's really that serious. When we eat garbage, we think garbage. I'll say it again. When we eat garbage, we think garbage. I hope that means something to you. I hope it means something to somebody. Because when we think garbage, we can't be in the process of elevating our consciousness if we're thinking garbage. It's a conflict of interest. So the first thing, the very first thing that anybody that begins studying the inner alchemy training with me in my school is getting the food intake in balance. That's the first issue that we deal with because it's so common. How many people do we have in the world or in our country, in America, in your backyard, in your neighborhood, that's suffering from diabetes? Come on, family. Let's be honest. Oh, I love food too, don't get me wrong. But I know I have to be disciplined because I can eat a ton of garbage easily. But I do my best to replace that garbage with my favorite stuff, which is fresh fruit and veggies. But I'll tear up a whole pan of brownies, but I know I shouldn't. And my wife, thankfully they don't prepare it here because I'll demolish it. That's a weakness I have. Yeah, sugar and salt are horrible. It's in everything. And they get people used to having it because when we have sugar and salt, it gives us a chemical response, a dopamine, which makes us feel good. So we want more. The body starts craving for it. Soon it's not even you asking for it. You thinking you're hungry, you're not. It's the parasites in your stomach that's hungry. Yeah, the parasites that's inside of your stomach that are hungry, they start to send out responses telling you to feed them. The responses are called chemical hormones. Yeah, do the research, family. That's another reason why we do a detox and a cleanse to remove the parasites from our body. The parasites are hungry. They want to eat. Let me move on. We can talk about food forever. We can talk about what to eat and what not to eat. But there's so many resources online, so there's no excuses. Excuses are tools. This is one that Sifu shared with me that's big. You know how I have these little sayings? So here's one, I'll ring the bell on it too. Sifu says excuses are tools. Now don't take offense to this because we all use excuses, but we need to cut down and cut back. He says excuses are tools of the incompetent. Those who specialize in them seldomly do well in anything. And if I look around, that's pretty much the truth. Excuses, tools of the incompetent. Those who specialize in them seldomly amount to anything. And that's a true statement, family. Ring the bell. Let's move on. It says, becoming slaves of their own bodily demands, to luxury, to power, unbalanced religion, and psychological excuses. It says, then the reign of calamity and confusion begins. Uh-oh. The reign of calamity and confusion begins now. Nonetheless, superior people can awaken during these times. It ain't too late, superior people. It ain't too late. We can always begin where we are. He says, nonetheless, superior people can awaken during these times of turmoil to lead others out of the mire, the M-I-R-E, out of the mess, out of the chaos. He says, but how can the one liberate the many? How can the one liberate the masses? How can the one you help the many? The many is only a few that really knows and sees what's going on. But how can the one help the many? How? He says, by first liberating his own being. First, we have to self-liberate. We got to fix ourselves before we can fix anything. Sounds like Tai Chi principle, huh? First, we start with the solo form, right? The single form, no partner, just us. That's the beginning. That's working more on self, right? And then we get the partner practices, right? And we start working outside of ourselves. Connecting with the whole entire universe. That's outside of ourselves, right? But first, we have to go inside. First, we must do our what? Meditation. We got to go inside with the meditation. I think Brother Gary mentioned that earlier. We got to go inside. He says, but how can one liberate the many? By first liberating his own being. Liberation starts with, as Brother Gary said, we have to go inside. As I said, I had to look in the mirror and say, Lester, you are a disaster. He does this not by elevating himself. See, people got it all backwards. Remember I said the Sifu told me that everything in this 3D arrangement of life, here as it is currently, he said it's upside down. And I really had no idea what he was talking about. Right? But I knew that the only way I would know would not be by asking him a question and him giving me an answer. The only way I would know was how? I had to live it and gain understanding of my own. It took understanding. It took growing and developing and figuring things out, trials and tribulations. And now I have more clarity, but I'm not done yet. I got to keep peeling off the layers of the onion. We all have to keep peeling off the layers of the onion, going inside, deeper and deeper and deeper. But first of all, it's not about elevating ourselves. Elevating ourselves would mean that we're putting ourselves above others, when we should be doing the exact opposite. That's why I say everything in this 3D realm is upside down. It's taught upside down. It's taught upside down. People are competing, want to be better than the other, want to put themselves on top of each other. Everybody want to be a damn celebrity, superstar. We're all stars, but people don't realize that. We're all stars. Every one of us are. We're superstars. We all are. Once we tap into our true being, the true I, the I am, the real I am, not this flesh, this skin and bones. And then when we tap into our true being, the true essence of who we are, we don't have to be worried about what is my career. I am my career. Or what is my passion? Or what is my calling? I am my calling, because I find myself already. I'm just saying in general. When we find ourselves, we don't have to go looking outside trying to figure out who the hell we are. You don't have to be certified. That's man-made. But they never teach you how to be you. They teach you how to get a job. You get what I'm saying? It's upside down. It's inside out. Done by design. Keep you trapped. We're all trapped. A lot of people don't want to realize we're in jail. This is jail. This is jail. Jail. Yep, not where I'm at sitting here, but on this planet, damn it. This is jail. But we can get out. We know how to get out. In the world, but not of the world. This is an internal practice. Inside. Ring the bell on that. Hey, welcome in, family. This is Tai Chi Minds. This is actually our first gathering here. Tai Chi Minds. What we're doing here, we're doing a little reading, just having fun. There's no structure. There is structure, but it's pretty free flow. It's pretty free flow. Just an exchange of information, typing in the chat, reading some responses, having fun, breaking down discussions. Lisa, you have perfect timing. Tai Chi is always on time, by the way. Tai Chi is always on time. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. I was thinking about that today, my brother. I was thinking about that today after I got off the phone with you, Brother Tristan. Here we go. Let me roll on. It says, give me a minute here, family. You know I wear glasses now. He says, nonetheless, superior people can awaken during these times of turmoil and lead others out of the mire. But how can the one liberate the many? We just talked about it. The first liberating of his own being. He does this not by elevating himself, but by lowering himself. We just went through this, right? Right. We become the river. No, we become the stream. The stream is the source to the river, right? The stream is underground, right? Real low, but it's the supplier. It gives the river, it supplies the river the water, and then the river flows into a bigger body of water, but it all comes out of the bottom, out of the springs, out of the ground, the bubbling wells. Everything comes from the bottom. We got to go down to come up. He says he lowers, oh wow, yeah, we got to go down to come up. He says he lowers himself to that which is simple, modest, true, integrating it into himself. He becomes a master of simplicity. That sounds very interesting. I'm interested in that. Simplicity, modesty, and truth. I don't want anything but the truth. We can only be in one place at a time. You want the truth or the half-truth? Because there's a lot of half-truths being told. To me, a half-truth is simply a lie. He says, completely emancipated from his former false life, he discovers his original pure nature. Original pure nature. Most people are definitely out of tune with that, family. Most people are definitely out of tune with that. Think about that, fam. I mean, we all are to some degree. We all are to some degree. Living in society alone takes us out of being in harmony, but a lot of people don't even get outside to even see a tree or smell fresh air, especially now. They're locked in the house. Get outside and breathe. Get next to a tree. Get next to the water, which is the pure nature of the universe. One more time. Completely emancipated from his former false life, he discovers his original pure nature. I'm interested in that. Which is the pure nature of the universe. So if we are not in harmony with the universe, we started out this conversation talking about that. I said, if we're not in harmony with the universe, you're either friend or foe. I'll say it again. You're either friend or foe. Right. You're either in harmony with the universe or disharmony with the universe. Myself as well. But we can't be BSing ourselves, family. And the way, remember I gave that analogy, peeling the layers off the onion? So part of the learning and going from understanding, just from reading this, to actually getting understanding and overstanding would be peeling off the levels. So how does this apply to me? How does this apply to you? So we start looking at ways that this stuff actually applies to us, instead of saying, that ain't talking to me. Oh yeah, it's very relevant to everybody. So how can I look at my personal life and say, how am I out of tune with the universe with this? Maybe I'm creating too much litter. Maybe I shouldn't be using so much paper resource. I'm just giving little small examples. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I shouldn't be, we all consume. Maybe I shouldn't be consuming so much of this, or whatever it may be. Whatever I can do to be more in tune with the universe and keep it real with myself. Right? What is it? I like planting more food and eating natural foods. That was for me. That's not for everybody. Some people say, well, I don't live in the right area. Some people say, I don't live in the right area, but we're going to pack up and move to the right area. It just depends. So here he says, freely and spontaneously releasing his divine energy. So when we're in tune with nature, we begin to freely and spontaneously release our true nature, our true energy, our divine energy. That's where we want to be. And when we do that, we're in harmony with the universe. You don't have to worry about what your career is going to be. You are your career. Your career finds you. You become a magnet. You become that lighthouse. You become a beacon signal. You don't have to reach outside running and grasping, trying to gather a bunch of things. What you attract literally comes to you. You become more magnetic. You become more magnetic. And you attract your reflections. Like you and I, we're reflections. We attracted each other or we wouldn't be here. You and I are each other. You are me, I am you. That's just the way life works. Now, what do we put out? We get in. So if we put garbage in, we're going to attract more garbage. We can fool ourselves and say we're not, but we can experiment with doing the right thing and see the results. I'll give an example. Here lately, I've been real disciplined on my food. You know, I ain't violating at all. I've been doing a whole lot of things in regard. I've been doing a lot of meditation, a lot of isolation, a lot of staying away from a lot of I excluded a lot of overindulging. I'm gonna get real personal with you on this one too. We're all adults here, right? So part of the inner alchemy practice training is retention, seminal retention for men, for us. Some people don't understand it. Some people don't believe in it. They don't practice it, whatever. But I practice it. And I've been practicing it. And I feel a whole lot more connected, family. I look at my food differently. I look at my food as being energy. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. Before I started this, thank you, Sifu. Before I sat down here to start this thing, my body was saying it was hungry. It was trying to interrupt me from doing this because this came to me first. This gathering we have here just came to me off a whim. Go do it now. Boom. And then I started wanting to be hungry. I'm like, you're not hungry. Go do the thing. Go get on the floor. Stick to your routine. Get on the live stream and do your Tai Chi minds. And go with the flow. You're not hungry. See, first of all, we tell ourselves we're hungry, and we're not hungry. The body, stop connecting the I with hungry. That's something I'm working on, saying I'm hungry. No, I'm not. The body wants some food. But my I is much more powerful than that. I is a spiritual thing beyond the 3D. It doesn't get hungry. So it's a thinking, family. We're talking. Your I does not get hungry. Your I continues to live on when you have nobody to get hungry. Get what I'm saying? Thank you, Sifu. That was a nice delivery. We just having fun, fam. Welcome. We're almost finished here. It says, freely and spontaneous releasing his divine energy. The divine energy is the I. He says, he constantly transcends complicated situations and draws everything around him back into the integral oneness. Did I just not say that before I read these words? Did I just not say that before I read this? Yes, I just said it. He says, freely and spontaneously releasing his divine energy, he constantly transcends complicated situations. You transcend complicated situations. You become the creator and not the created. You turn a so-called ugly situation into a beautiful day. You take rain clouds and you split them in half and bring out the sunshine, if the rain's not needed. You turn lemons into lemonade. You turn shit into shit cakes. I had to throw that one in there. No, you don't turn shit into shit cakes. You don't do that. But you get what I'm saying? You turn a shitty day into a great day. A beautiful day. Because you become the alchemist. The transformer. The one who takes the energy and spins it around where it serves him. We turn anger into happiness. We transform it. That's the I. That's the power. That's the power that we have that's being locked down from eating the foods that we shouldn't eat, from being involved in stressful situations that we shouldn't be immersed in 24/7. The body's in stress, in fight or flight. It shouldn't be there. That locks down the spirit. That blocks the energy. Fight or flight. You can't even take a sip of water. You're sitting around, you're looking like those, you ever see those wild animals when they're drinking and they like just looking around, they take a sip and they're looking around? They're in fight or flight all the damn time. Most humans are there. You look like a gazelle. You're looking like a gazelle. Sit down, enjoy your food. Don't eat so fast. That's another practice I'm doing. Eating my food more slowly, really chewing it. That way we get better digestion. There's little things that we don't think about that are just so big. Sit down, enjoy your food. Eating your food should be meditation. Sifu says each mouthful, each bite, each time you 36 chews and then swallow. 36 times before you swallow. That makes the food nice and not like it becomes like more it becomes a bolus, soft and mushy, and you've really ingested into that food, that bolus. You've really injected your digestive enzymes before the food takes flight into your esophagus. The digestion takes place in the mouth, but if you just put the food in your mouth and swallow it, it takes a longer time for it to break down inside the belly. Those big pregnant bellies that guys and women are both walking around with, myself included, working on getting it a little tighter. I like to eat too fast. I eat way too fast. But if I slow it down, I know it'll improve my digestion. Let's finish up. We got 2 more lines, family. Welcome. I don't know what time we started, but this has been fun. Thank you all. We're almost finished, right at the end. He says, freely and spontaneously releasing his divine energy. And I know we're all interested in that. That's why we're here. No matter what our religious background is, if we have a religion or not, we all want to have a divine living. We all want to live our life to the fullest. We all want to enjoy our time here on this earth. We all want that. We share that no matter what. He says, be constantly transcends complicated situations and draws everything around him back into the integral oneness. This is why we train to have our minds in the right place at the right time, so we can deal with turbulent times. And as we see, times have become a lot more turbulent. As he said, we become a lot more intelligent, but we also seem like we're living a lot more stressful lives. So with our practices, and I did say practice because it should be a daily routine, whether it's the standing meditation, whether it's the moving meditation, no matter what it is, we should have a stress relief system, 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day will take us a very long way. If you do have more time, join us. We're doing it free every day, right? We've been doing it for several months. Tai Chi flow for about 30, 45 minutes every day. We do it from 2 o'clock until 3. We do a little talk sometimes, so it's not all exercise, but it's fun. And we also have a standing meditation. Everybody's encouraged to start. It doesn't matter if you've ever done it before or not. We all start where we are. It's about taking off the layers and beginning where we are. But remember, I said I had to look in that mirror and fess up. I had to say, Lester, you're not a drug addict, man. You're not. You're not a womanizer, man. Stop BSing, man. Get your shit together. I had to look in the mirror and decide to change myself. We're done. He says, because he is a living divinity. A living divinity. When he acts, the entire universe acts. When he acts, the entire universe acts. So we talked about power, right? That's proper operation with eternal rule. Proper operation with eternal rule. This is power, being in our true divinity. When you act, the entire universe acts. How powerful is that? How powerful is that, family? That's true power. But that's not greed. That's not greed. Greed won't do it. Greed won't get you there. No. Greed won't get us there, family. Thank you for attending our first gathering. We took flight together today. I look forward to doing more. At this point, they're completely unscheduled. They're random. But I look forward to doing it again. That was wonderful. Tai Chi Minds. Couldn't have done it without you all. That was really fun. A lot of good feedback. Lisa, perfect timing. Absolutely. Thank you for coming as well. Soul Group, if you are not part of our Tai Chi flow or our daily standing meditation, please join us. Join us. We have a real family. We actually, several of us here in the chat, we actually know each other. We've embraced and given each other big, huge hugs. So the energy is real. It doesn't get any realer. Several of us will be meeting in the near future. This is a real soul group. Get on board, take flight with us. Let's go, have fun. Feel free to contribute to the chats at any and all times. There is no right, there is no wrong. There's just different levels and different perspectives of understanding. And we damn sure gonna have fun every single time we get together. That's for sure. We gotta be more childish. We gotta lighten up. If we're gonna take flight, we can't be heavy. No. I love you all. I've been stretching the whole time down here, family. Whew. Tai Chi Minds, baby. Come get some. Come hang out with us sometime. Come hang out with us sometime. I love you guys. I'm out. Thank you, Seafood. That was cool. That was real cool. Tai Chi Minds. I loved it. Tai Chi Minds. I told you I was going to do it. Welcome, family. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Love you guys. Peace. We done took flight, family. We done took flight. Uh-huh.